Hello and welcome to Meridian News Now. I'm Logan Sella. Thanks for joining us on a Wednesday. We've got a great show for you. We'll start today with recent news about the pandemic. The CDC recently released an update centered around new evidence of the Delta variant of COVID-19, which has seen case numbers going up nationwide. A recommendation for fully vaccinated people to wear a mask in indoor areas of high transmissions was added, as well as indoor masking for all school teachers, students, and visitors. More information can be found at cdc.gov. Next is some local news. The June 2021 building permit report was recently released, offering insight into new developments coming to Meridian Township. Our own Lucy Van Regenmorter is in the field to tell us more.
Building permits approved to date in Meridian Township is higher than the total number approved to date in June of 2020 by more than 200 permits, including this future residential neighborhood you see behind me. In addition to double the amount of single-family households being approved for building, with 19 houses being approved, 1 apartment complex was also approved, as well as 3 townhomes. Although there have been more permits granted this year, they are actually lower in value than those approved in June of 2020 by nearly $3 million. In Meridian Township, Lucy Van Regenmorter, HOMTV.
All right, thanks, Lucy. HOMTV will bring you the latest information regarding updated building permits reports as they're released. During the July 7th public hearing, the Village of Okemos project and others proposed minor amendments to Director of Community Planning and Development, Tim Schmidt. Our own Elena Cousineau is live in the field with more. Elena?
Thanks, Logan. It's a hot one out today, and I am here in downtown Okemos with an update on the Village of Okemos project and others. There are a couple of updates after the public hearing for minor amendments held on July 7th. Director of Community Planning and Development, Tim Schmidt, partially approved the Village of Okemos project's minor amendments. The amendments approved were a 32.1% reduction of total square footage of buildings, the removal of parking spaces from the proposed 659 spaces to 397 spaces, and more. Dr. Schmidt did not approve the delaying of construction for buildings along Okemos Road to a later construction phase, and the conversion of space along Hamilton Road from commercial to residential. Director Schmidt said developers from the Village of Okemos have 3 options. 1, they can appeal the decision to the Township Board with valid reason. 2, they can request a major amendment for the denied items for the Township Board's approval. 3, they can revert back to the original plan approved by the Township Board. Director Schmidt said there is no indication that the developers will walk away from this project, but they do have that option as well. At the July 7th public hearing, Director Schmidt also received minor amendment requests for custom built, which was approved for a deck expansion, Hudson Senior Living, which was approved for a reconfiguration of the first floor, and Newton Point, which was approved in part for changes in the main building. The next step in this process is for developers to submit for site plan review. In Meridian Township, Elena Cousineau.
Thanks, Elena. We will continue to follow this story, so stay tuned to HOMTV.net for more updates. Plans for the expected Sparrow Health Services emergency room on Jolly Road took another step forward this week. The Meridian Township Planning Commission approved a request for special use permit 21070, allowing for construction of over 25,000 square feet. The commission passed the request by way of a 6-2 vote, including a few small amendments regarding sound and pedestrian access. 3 Sparrow representatives were on hand during the meeting and answered questions in front of the board for nearly 45 minutes. Here is Sparrow Senior Vice President Thomas Brez when asked about the size of the development.
Correct. Commissioner Richards, you mentioned something about the 24/7. That is not the driver of the size. The driver of the size is to have both an emergency department and a primary care family medicine practice.
Even with the acquisition of the special use permit, Sparrow will next have to pass site plan approval before they can begin construction. The plan update creates new pathways and paved shoulders in Meridian Township. Our own Rachel Ramsey visited one of the areas set for pathway construction.
The Pathway Master Plan is a plan dedicated to creating new pathways and paved shoulders in Meridian Township. I am here at Green Road, which is one of the 10 pathways to be paved. The master plan is funded by a pathway millage approved by the voters of the township and includes 2 parts, a 5-year priority plan and a list of additional recommendations. The goal of this plan is to eliminate the historical gaps in the pathway network, and the township aspires to review the master plan every 5 years to continue reflecting the needs of the community. A public hearing took place on July 13th to receive additional comments regarding the pathway master plan before going through with the plan. For more information regarding the plan, visit meridian.mi.us. Here you can view the charts and visuals for the pathway master plan. In Meridian Township, Rachel Ramsey for HOMTV.
Green Road is just one of the pathways to be paved under the Pathway Master Plan update. We'll stay with local updates, this time with a couple of different rezoning requests. MJ Management has requested to rezone approximately 5 acres of commercial property at 1999 East Saginaw Street to industrial property. Owned as industrial, however, it was rezoned to commercial in May of 2018. Access to the proposed development is expected to be provided by a single driveway branching from the current Meridian plumbing driveway. The proposed rezoning would allow for a building that occupies roughly 40%, or 2 acres, of the total buildable area. Jim Filipich, the applicant and owner of the Meridian Company, spoke more specifically about his building plans.
I can give it to you straight. Since we constructed and moved into our current facility 21 years ago, our revenues have nearly tripled. Our staffing levels have more than doubled. We've outgrown our shoebox, and our intentions are to construct a newer facility on this 5-acre site for the Meridian Company. And we will subsequently, upon completion of that and moving in, will rent our current 21-year-old facility to a approved industrial zone user.
The proposal will be up for action at the next Township Board meeting. On Tuesday, July 20th, a request to rezone a parcel just under half of an acre at 5114 Joe Don Drive was discussed at the Township Board meeting. The existing building at 5114 Joe Don Drive is not in compliance with current ordinances. A vacant residential lot sits to the north of the existing building and is attached to the property. Owners of the property approached the director looking to rezone the parcel and build a new single-family home. The Township Board was informed there are no plans to expand or add any multifamily use buildings.
The proposal would rezone the whole property to a higher density multifamily residential district to get it further in compliance with the ordinance. And then they have offered as a condition to alleviate some of the concerns to come back and then downzone the property to the north to be consistent with the surrounding residential uses so that they can then split that off to create the residential lot to build on. This is the first step in a multi-hurdle process. If the Township Board chooses to move forward with this.
The Township Board supported the request under these conditions. Further discussion will take place at the next Township Board meeting on August 3rd. Meridian Township Fire Department's new ATV is now in use. The finishing touches have been placed on the back of the ATV, along with more equipment made to save more lives. The ATV will be used on all trails and parks in the township. It will also be used for areas where township residents would have to be carried out by hand. The ultimate goal of the ATV is to protect residents from injuries on and off the road.
This area here is for a patient, so we could put a person on a backboard or in a Stokes basket, put them up here, strap them in, and drive them out. So, you know, the township has hundreds of miles of beautiful parkland here. We can put a patient on here and get them out of the woods so that we're not walking a mile or 2 miles trying to carry a patient out. We can put them up here and they can ride safely here, and we'll slowly get them back out of the park and into the waiting ambulance or whatever they need.
For more information or questions about the ATV, please contact the Meridian Township Fire Department at 517-853-4700. This Tuesday, the Memorial Healthcare Institute for Neuroscience celebrated the expansion of its new location in Okemos on Jolly Road. The institution hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony for this location as part of their expansion announcement featuring the president and CEO of the Memorial Healthcare Institution, Brian Long, who gave a speech alongside the Chief of Neurology and Director of Multiple Sclerosis, Dr. Rani Abu-Rashed. Our clip wasn't playing audio. We apologize for technical difficulties. Dr. Abu-Rashed stated that this location serves as part of an ongoing expansion process to improve patients' access to neurology centers around Michigan, as the institution will be introducing the new neurological service point of care shortly by the time they open the new brain center in Owasso, Michigan. The Okemos location has been in operation for the past 2 months and is currently serving patients seeking general neurological treatment. The Meridian Township's Parks and Land Preservation staff has been working since the spring to trim the pathways and keep them clear from bushes and other debris for pathway users. Still no audio, I guess. The trimming will continue into the fall, all throughout the township. Nonprofit organization Epiphany Now has announced the finalists for this year's Youth Passing It Forward Award. This award honors students in grades K through 12 who are spreading kindness and making positive contributions to their community. Our own Lucy Van Regenmorter spoke with Bob Hoffman to learn more.
Epiphany Now is really about that you could have an epiphany right now to do something kind, to change somebody else's life. And in turn, your life will be changed too. And no matter where you are in life, you have the power within you to make a difference in somebody else's life. That could just mean a smile. How often is it that you walk downtown or wherever and people look at you? If you just smile at them, that makes a difference.
All right, glad we're back up and running. Voting is now closed, but to learn more about the finalists and their extraordinary acts of kindness, visit www.epiphanynow.org. The winner of the YPIF Award will be announced Friday, August 30th. The Marketplace on Green will be getting a new art installation thanks to a grant from the Lansing Economic Area Partnership. After looking through submissions, the township chose Dane Porter to create the piece. Our own Elena Cousineau had the chance to interview Porter.
Art is super important for many reasons. One being, I think, whether we realize it or not, I think art makes people feel a certain type of way, usually good. And so art's important because it not only brings beauty and value to a city, but it also makes people feel happy. And I think that's good, otherwise you just have a bunch of gray buildings up and it'd be quite boring, so.
Porter said the piece is still in its initial phases, but should be completed by late October. Are you looking for a way to relax? Go and enjoy the great outdoors at Harris Nature Center. This past Friday was their second Howling at the Moon guided night walk through the woods. Residents of Meridian Township came out to enjoy the nice weather while having their dogs tag alongside them.
So we do a guided walk and we go about 2-3 miles in. It kind of just depends on what everyone is feeling, but we go on a walk and anyone is open to ask me any questions, and it's a good time. Everyone brings their dogs and we tire the pups out. We saw a lot of toads there and a bunch of mosquitoes, but it was a good night. It was good weather. Rain wasn't too bad, and we all just got to enjoy a nice walk.
The next full moon walk will be scheduled on August 20th at 8:30 p.m. But before you go, don't forget to bring a flashlight, some bug spray, and your dog. JCI Lansing will be hosting their first ever row-a-thon this Saturday, July 31st from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. The funds raised from this year will go to Love for Lily, which will help to support Lily Bowen, an 8-year-old from DeWitt who is fighting neuroblastoma. Our Katie Schroeder spoke to JCI Lansing's vice president about the event.
It's a pledge-based row-a-thon. So participants will purchase a pledge pass through Eventbrite. Once they have purchased the pledge pass, it is on them to collect pledges individually and how much money they collect will determine how far they row on a rowing machine.
More information can be found at the website below. We'll stay outside. Anyone interested in learning an outdoor activity can attend the Meridian Fishing Derby this Sunday, August 1st. The Derby will take place at the Meridian Historical Village Pond from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and is free for anyone 16 and under. Planned activities include learning to cast, games, and fun with snails and worms. More information can be found on the Meridian Township website. All neighborhood watch groups and associations, as well as the community at large, are invited to participate in the upcoming National Night Out. The event takes place next Tuesday, August 3rd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Community officers will be out and about with McGruff the Crime Dog and their K-9 unit on most motorcycles and police vehicles. They also will be participating in a variety of activities. Contact Lieutenant Bart Crane at 517-853-4800 for questions and to RSVP about a spot. Sick of ticks? Well, Parks and Recreation Land Stewardship Coordinator Emma Campbell has some tips to help prevent tick bites.
The biggest protection is just making sure that you check yourself every single day, that you've been outside, even like I said, even if it's just in your yard. And, you know, they do tend to like the really creepy places, like under your armpits, behind your knees, at the base of your neck, behind your ears. So really just checking yourself. You can also get a tick repellent, which you don't actually spray on your skin, which is very important to know. You spray it on the clothes that you're going to be using, and it can last for quite a few weeks, like even through washes. So that is really helpful too. I at least try to spray, you know, my boots usually. And, you know, if you feel like you're in an area that's really infested, you can even tuck your pants into your socks, just making sure they can't climb up. And, you know, just educating yourself. The cdc.gov/ticks is a really good resource, learning how to identify different ticks in your area. We have only one tick, the black-legged tick or the deer tick, that actually carries Lyme disease. So education, awareness, and then repellent.
The Parks and Recreation Department will be putting deer tick signs from the CDC in lake preserves during late summer and into the fall. Brad Lilly was recently named the interim football coach at Okemos High School for the 2021 season. The hire comes after a sudden departure by former coach Mike Crum for a job with the Michigan State Police. Lilly was most recently the program's junior varsity coach and has been with the program since 2014. I caught up with him last week to ask him about his new role. Yeah, sure. I mean, I know you're your own guy, of course. You know, what makes you unique? What is Okemos High getting in you that they won't get in anybody else?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm just a regular guy. You know, I come out here and I want these kids to succeed with a foundation in academics and a good solid team culture, and going forward playing some good quality football, good fundamentally sound football. So nothing special about me. I'm just a normal guy doing a job. You can find the full conversation with Coach Lilly and I at HOMTV.net. Okemos opens the football season at home against Mason on August 26th. All for today's episode of Meridian News Now. Remember, you can stay up to date with Township News by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, HOMTV.net. I'm Logan Sella. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.